Did you guys play? Did you guys try out the tech test? Did you see how well it moves? How well everything's just so fluid? How the Nasher itself feels? Oh my god. I loved it. I loved everything. I loved the new weapons. The Breaker Mace was amazing. But we're talking about one other thing we got out of the tech test. Something that I was really interested in, and I posed a theory in some of the streams, and a lot of people took hold onto it and liked it. So I'm going to go with that and actually make this video about it. Did you know who was the announcer, the narrator, whatever you want to say, for the Swarm? That was Niles. That was Niles Sampson. Remember Niles? He was the AI over at the New Hope facility. You know, the one that said, "Don't break my door." And guess what Marcus and Dom did? They broke his door. He's back. Oh, he's back, and I'm happy as ever. So, let's break this down. Let's talk about Niles quick before we actually get into the theory, okay? So, Niles. You all know Niles, right? Good old, our buddy over at New Hope. We spent an entire act with him pretty much. Good old Niles. I love Niles. He was an AI. Now, if you're wondering what an AI is, let's talk about that quick. What a difference between a program and an AI is. Because Niles, the Niles we know, because there is another Niles that programmed this Niles. He is a very, you could say, low-leveled AI. He's not a computer program. He's definitely able to learn and understand something that's going on within what he's perceiving, while a computer program doesn't. Like, let's say you're taking like a test online, and there's a multiple choice A, B, C, or D, and you click the right answer, and it says you got the answer right. Or if you click the wrong answer, it says you got the wrong answer, and not the right one. That's a program. It's programmed to say like you got the right thing or wrong thing and give you what you need. That's pretty much what a program is. An AI, however, adapts and can somewhat learn and understand a situation that's going on. So, for instance, Gladys from Portal. Gladys is an AI. She's able to understand the situation in front of her and adapt to the situation and learn from it. That's pretty much an AI. Samson from Gears of War, the one we know, Niles Sampson, I'll just call him Niles, and the real Niles I'll call Samson, just to separate, kind of. So the Niles we meet is a very low-level AI. He's not programmed. He definitely reacts to something that's going on, and he's able to come up with information. He's very low-level, though, because he's not really, like, learning that much from it, or, like, he'll say, like, access restricted or something like that, or there's ways around him. So he is an AI, just a very low-leveled AI. So, we meet him through New Hope, we're going through everything, and then we come across the Sires, and we learn a little bit more about Niles and the Sires and Samson's relation to all of this. So, Samson made Niles, so Niles Sampson made Niles, and it was pretty much an AI of himself he put into the computer to pretty much go through and tell people information or lock things away while he was gone from New Hope, because he was sent off to Mount Kadar with what would become the Locusts. So, Niles is Samson, but it's just like his AI self, you could say the shadow of the real Niles. So, in the Gears of War tech test, the announcer is Niles. And this Niles is very different from what we've had before. This Niles is talking fluidly, because, again, he was very robotic when we met his AI for the first time, because it was an AI programmed over 100 years ago. So, he's talking fluidly, he's talking about the stuff that's going on currently in the game, and the story-wise with the Swarm and everything. This Niles is up to date on the information going on, and he is aware of things. Now, it can't be the real Samson. It can't be Niles Sampson himself, because of the fact that, again, over 100 years ago, plus the 25-year skip we got, so over 125 years ago is when he was pretty much sent off to Mount Kadar. That's when he was pretty much, like, sent off, pretty much banished from the world for what he was doing at New Hope. So pretty much it can't be him. It can't be. He would have to be over 125. He would be, like, if he was just born the day he was sent off to the mountains, which I know it sounds weird, but if he was, he would be 125-ish years old. Let's say he was in his 30s when he was sent off. He would be 155 something around that range years old. The real Niles Sampson, is dead. He's gone. I don't know how else he could be alive. We're going to learn more about what happened to him probably, but as of right now, his physical body has to be dead. I don't know how else he could be alive. So, The theory goes, the AI at Mount Kadar, because we see that the swarm, I gotta get used to that. The swarm are at Mount Kadar. We know this for a fact. We know for a fact they're going to be there. I mean, hell, we see the warden there at one point in one of the trailers. So, what I think is happening is that the AI, someone brought power back to New Hope and everything, it's running and Samson flickered back on. Or Niles flickered back on. Samson's dead. And right now, because the swarm is able to somewhat have a hive mind and they're able to tap into electronics, or at least control it in a way, I feel that Niles, the AI, they were able to get into that and pull him into the hive mind. So Niles isn't really restricted to the knowledge that he had at the time where he could learn. Because again, he's been away from like the public eye for a very long time, the AI. So he's been pulled into the hive mind now. He's in the hive mind, his AI, which is now being brought up to date on things. He has no limit. Like, technology is no longer a limit. He has all of this resource to him. You know, he's evolved pretty much. This electronic AI is now, he's still technically an AI because he was artificially created and he's an artificial intelligence, but he's evolved to the point where he's just an intelligence on its own. And he does see himself as Niles Samson by what we've seen. And what we've heard, it's not like, oh yes, I am the AI created by Niles, blah, blah. No, he talks to them like my children and all that. So he sees himself as the real Niles. This AI that's been brought into the hive mind is now like a cognitive working machine in this. It's not just like, I am an AI working for the swarm. No, it's like, I'm Niles. I'm now a part of this huge collective of my children. Bring it. This is my army. Granted, they're still probably going to try and get Kate to be the queen of it all, but I think Niles is like, yeah, we kind of need a physical body to represent who's in charge. I'm kind of just data that's been pulled into like the synapses of the hive mind scattered across all of the swarm. So we kind of need a body. Maybe Niles is going to take over Kate's body. Maybe he's taking over the body of one of the scions in the swarm or something. Maybe they found one of the DBs that Jin always likes to use that gets destroyed constantly. They like patched it up a bit. The screen's still working, and this is like Niles' head is on. They're like, hey, I got a body at least. I'm stuck back in a robot, but I got a body. And it wouldn't really help if you killed him either, because again, he's a part of the hive mind now. I would guess if he died, because he's not like he wasn't physical when he was created. So I'm guessing if he were to be destroyed, or before he's destroyed, he can just send his collectiveness back over into the hive mind like, hey, I'm still around. I just moved back into here. I don't know. But what we saw with Hivebusters 2, it seems like a lot of the hive minds, you can hook yourself physically into it. Like the swarm were all around it. I would guess that you could physically hook yourself back in. Maybe it's like the Geth in Mass Effect. You know, you hook yourself up to the main center, I guess, processor, if that's the right word, or CPU or computer or whatever, and you're able to share things throughout not only your body, but throughout the whole hive mind. Because with the Geth, how it worked in Mass Effect is that there was like maybe 10,000 Geth, you could say, within one physical host. So those 10,000 would be going back and forth between each other. I think that number might be a bit high, but you know what I mean. But when you hooked back into the main mothership or computer or whatever, there are like billions to trillions of Geth. And they're all speaking at once. A physical body only holds a certain amount, while the main control center holds everything. Maybe it's like, let's say, because they're able to speak through their minds pretty much. They're mentally connected because of the hive mind. Let's say only one swarm, let's say souls to be safe. One swarm soul can take over one swarm body. So they all hook into the machine, not the machine, I'm thinking Geth. They all hook into the main hive mind, and they're able to pretty much swap souls between bodies or something like that, possibly. So maybe that's what Niles can do. Like, if bodies are hooked up, he can just throw himself into a body. And let's say he's badly damaged or he's bleeding, but he's able to escape. He gets back to the hive mind. He just, like, I don't know, maybe there's like something in the back of the neck. He plugs himself back in, and back into the hive mind he goes, and the body just falls over. It could be something like that. I'm just trying to think how Niles, I mean, I understand how he became a part of the hive mind. I get that. They brought him into it. They hooked into the machines. They used like the tendrils or one of the spikes or something, took control and pulled him in. again, he has an intelligence. The hive minds are all different, the intelligences of all the different swarm and scions all together. They just pulled him into it. Now he's like free inside all of that. The resources of all of this hive mind is now his. It's not just based on a computer. That's his limitation. No, he has... The human brain is a lot more advanced than a computer, understand. Like, he has all of that to his potential now. He's able to learn extremely quickly, know everything going on. Niles is now, like, he's become, I don't even know how to say it, like, a bigger threat than he was. Originally, it's like, hey, I need to get through this door. You can't get through. Okay, we'll blow it up. Now it's like, I've got an army. We're taking Kate. She's becoming queen. Maybe I'll have her body. I don't know. This is happening. You know, it's very scary that Niles is now, like, the main enemy of 5. Like, how the games have been going, it's like, you know, Gears of War 1 and Gears of War 4, they kind of based the style off of 1, just, like, with feeling and everything. Gears of War 2 is obvious. Gears of War 5 is obviously like Gears of War 2 because you have Niles. We're going back to Mount Kadar. We've got all of this other stuff going on. We've had the introduction of, you know, like, newer characters to the series, just like we got in 2. It's some crazy stuff. So I'm going to assume Niles is the big bad at the end of the game. Maybe not the big bad, but, like, he's the leader currently of the swarm. He is the leader as of 5. Now, when it comes to what's going to happen later, I guess it depends what the situation with Kate will be, because if they have Niles and he's, like, the father, I mean, do they need a queen at this point? Because it's like, I'm the guy who created, like, your ancestors and technically you in a way. So do you really need a queen if it's like, I'm, like, the guy who made it all? I don't know. It's like, Niles is going to be really fun to take a look at. I'm really excited to see what path we're going to take with Niles. So that's going to do it for this video. I just wanted to throw that one out there quick with how Niles is returning and how Niles is probably a part of the hive mind now. It's a scary thing because that means daddy's come home in a way. So, yeah, thanks for watching. This was, you know, my Gear Talk video for every Thursday. I didn't say at the beginning because of how excited I was with the tech test. So, like, comment, subscribe, follow, do every single thing you possibly can on all of our social media. It's been an exciting time with this tech test. We still have this weekend to get through. If you watched it today when it first came out, I very much thank you. That means you'll be able to play it this weekend. If you watch it a lot later, let's say a week from now, I'm sorry you missed the tech test, but the game will be out soon. If the game's already out when you see this, I hope it's been amazing, and I hope Niles has been a badass, because I do kind of like Niles. You guys have a great one. See you next time.